Hello there, friends and followers from around the world. This is Q8Pilot, your host for tonight's show. We are currently situated at the FedEx Cargo Terminal at Chicago O'Hare International Airport, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, the iniBuilds Airbus A300-600R F. This is an aircraft that I have been very excited about, and I was fortunate enough, and iniBuilds have been generous enough to provide me with the beta copy of this aircraft. It is by far a brilliant aircraft for X-Plane, one of the best airliners now, in my view. And in this live stream today, we are going to be taking a look at this aircraft's features and kind of get acquainted with what it's got to offer us. I'm really excited about this aircraft for a lot of different reasons. It's been in the making for a very long time. It is quite detailed in terms of the system simulation. It's modeled very, very well, as you can see here. And we're going to take a look at all its features and probably start the engines and maybe take off. Just you have got to hear the sounds of those beautiful General Electric engines. The aircraft actually comes in two versions, and we'll take a look at that. Let me see who's here with us here on the live stream today. We've got our friend from Munich, Afghanistan, Austria, from the US of A. And let's see here. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. By the way, they are, I believe, iniBuilds, I believe they're making an A380. Don't quote me on that, but I think I've read this somewhere. But let's take a look first at the exterior of this aircraft and just take a look at the modeling, and just please do note that this aircraft is still in beta. This is a Federal Express livery, and this is the interim livery of Federal Express. As you can see, the texturing is just remarkable. Look at that. Looks absolutely phenomenal. Very, very nicely done by iniBuilds. Look at the landing gear here. Look at that detail, the engine, everything just looks absolutely amazing. Really, really nice 3D modeling and texturing. This livery is outstanding as well. And by the way, it comes with a ton of liveries, and I'll show you in a minute, but just admiring the 3D model and the texture work of this aircraft, really very well made and very well modeled by ini. As you can see here, we can do just a kind of a walk around here so you can see the aircraft from all angles. The wings, the engines, the landing gear. Looks really, really good. I really like how they've modeled this aircraft, and I've compared some real-world footage of the aircraft that looks pretty similar to what we're seeing here. Again, you can see it here from the side, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. Welcome, my friend, from the UK, from Sweden, Brazil, Hong Kong, France, the USA, and hello from Saudi Arabia. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, they are making an A380, so I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm sure that just looking at the fidelity of this aircraft, I'm sure that the A380 is going to be something special. I do want to show you guys one thing here. So these are all the liveries that come with this aircraft. So all of these are realistic liveries, so they are categorized as realistic. And then you've got the iniBuild, the house livery. Of course, this is the ini livery. And of course, the fictional. So you've got, Emirates, Air France, and AirLogic, Lufthansa, Royal Jordanian, Saudi Arabian, for my friend from Saudi Arabia. So they've got you covered there, my friend. So yeah, so a ton of liveries that will ship with this aircraft. By the way, I do not have any information on the price yet of this aircraft. Hello, my friend from Slovenia, Austria, from Chicago, and welcome, my very good friend Dougal. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. And of course, there are other things that come with this aircraft, but there's of course a manual that will ship with the aircraft, kind of a pilot handbook or manual that will ship with the aircraft. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the cockpit. Look at that. That is very, very nice indeed. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, the overhead panel. It looks absolutely phenomenal and very similar to the real Airbus A300. As you can see, it does not look exactly like, you know, the modern Airbus that we're accustomed to. So this is a bit more complex and things do not exactly work in the same way. So it does take a little bit of a learning curve to kind of get acquainted with this aircraft. But just looking at the what did I do here? Just looking at the texturing, it looks pretty good, very sharp and crisp, very high resolution textures there. I like what they've done with the texturing. As you can see here, this is the FMS, the throttle here. You can look at the radios, all the buttons. Really detailed work from ini here. This is really you know, an aircraft that is definitely going to be ranked amongst the top tier in X-Plane 11, without a doubt. With this level of modeling, it looks absolutely phenomenal. So let's take a look here at the electronic flight bag and some of the features. So you've got the takeoff preference here for calculations. You've got the checklist, of course. And then we've got ground operations, ATIS, panel state, so you can toggle from APU running, cold and dark, on GPU, ready for takeoff, ready for taxi, and then you can load previous state or save the current state. I currently have it on cold and dark. And let's take a look, and of course the settings. So from the settings menu, you can toggle the units from imperial to metric units. Iris alignment, you can select either real or you can say instant, and that's what we're going to select here. Link standard altimeter, it will set across the altimeter in the aircraft, which is a useful feature. So we're going to turn that on. Link the FDs, we're going to turn that on as well. Link barrows, we're going to turn that. EFB activation, I don't know what that does yet, but we can read here. It shows a blue border on the EFB when you're interacting with it. Okay, that's fine. Nose wheel steering is yaw. Reset brake temperatures. We can reset them if the brakes are hot. So we're just going to save that, and options are saved, and then we're going to return here. Now, let's go to ground operations, and there's a lot of fun here. So the first thing is we've got the load manager where we can set the aircraft fuel and load it. Then we can also look at the load sheet. So your zero fuel and all of that good information will be automatically calculated for you, loaded to the aircraft, and sent to the performance page on the FMS. And then we've got the ground services. Now with the ground service, we can put the ground power unit, the air stairs, the loader, chocks, AC unit, fuel truck, and we'll leave the pushback for now. Let's switch to external view. And we can see here, just look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. The movement is very smooth. And you've got the air stairs here, all the ground elements here. The fuel truck has decided to just go over the cargo there. Now you see the cargo truck coming to load the aircraft. So this also ships out of the box with the aircraft. You don't really need anything Welcome. We have Morg 417 has become a VVIP member. Welcome to the Q8 Pilot channel and to the VVIP membership. Hello there, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And thank you for sponsoring the channel. And thank you for your donation. I really appreciate it. All right, so as you can see here, now we've got the cargo being loaded up in this Federal Express Airbus A300. God, I really like this aircraft a lot. Very, very nice indeed. Very smooth movement. It's modeled pretty well. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to hop back here. And we are going to look here over to the overhead panel. As you can see now, we have the external power available. So some things actually work just like the Airbus that we all know. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the batteries. So you've got battery 1 here. Listen to those sounds. Very, very nice indeed. Right, so we're going to turn on all 3 batteries and we're going to turn on the external power. Gotta love those sounds. All right. I'm gonna just reduce the volume here on my headset. Okay, so we're gonna head over here and you will see that we've got the, so these are for the alignment, we've got nav here and here, and right over here. And let's see, cockpit door, we'll leave it unlocked. We can put this on heading STS, and this one is selected. We can leave those alone, and we can come here to the hydraulics. Everything looks fine. We can turn on these fasten seatbelt non-smoking signs, and we can come over here. Galley is on, and we can now take a look here. All right, alignment is in progress. Everything looks good here. Now, this is the fuel system, and the fuel system in the A300 is a bit complex. I still haven't really read the manual, so this is my probably second time loading the aircraft with you guys. I just really wanted to give you an overview of the aircraft, but you can see there are things that we are not accustomed to. Here you see there's engine 1, APU, engine 2, X-feed, so lots of different things. I'm not exactly sure how it's operated, but if we, with an Airbus, you just click everything so that everything goes away. All the yellows, the whites go away. Main deck cargo heat, we can turn all these on as well. And the same thing for probe heat. We're just going to turn these on and leave them there. All right. Now what we can do is we can turn on the, actually before the APU, you can obviously test there. I'm not sure, maybe this one? Yep, that's the one. So you can test here, here, and here before we actually turn on the APU. All right, now we can cancel this here. All right. Good stuff. So we are ready to go and program the MCDU, or the FMS in this case, and we actually have to use the AFB as well for the load manager. So what we can do is we can come here and we can set our fuel. So we can set, for example, 7,000 kilos of fuel. We'll leave the center tank and we'll say load fuel. And then next over here we can set our cargo. Let's see, I need to put my tablet on battery. So I'm going to do that before I lose power. All right, so here's what we can do is we can come here and set this to right about here. We're going to say load. And then we're going to say next, and now it's computing, and now you have your zero fuel, your center of gravity, and the freight on board. You've got all of that, and you've got all your payload information right here. So we can say load again, just to make sure. Yeah, okay, and we can set it to performance. Now in performance here, and another feature that I really like is you can click here if you put the airport. So we are at Chicago O'Hare, which is Kilo Oscar Romeo Delta, and if we select the runway here, hit enter, there we go, and we can select, let's see, maybe we'll select this runway, and we can say ATIS request, and it will actually get the ATIS, read it, and insert it here. So you don't really have to fiddle around with any of this information here. As you can see now, you have the wind, the direction, so 200 degrees, 17 knots, outside temperature is 31, ESA plus 20, and QNH is 1017, runway condition is dry, all of that good stuff, and this is the configuration for the flaps, and the thrust is sub 2 flex standard. Okay, so everything is good here, and everything is computed. Of course, you can add the slope if you want and some other information there. But yeah, pretty much everything is ready for us now. We can go to, we can come here to the FMS, and they all have pop-ups, so you can pop these up, which is really cool. High resolution pop-ups really for all the displays here. Again, something I really like. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to just put a fictitious flight plan in there. And we're going to select chord Kilo Oscar Romeo Delta to, let's say, Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey. And we're going to insert that, return. We have that here. The cost index will say, for example, 55, that's fine. Okay, 55. Cruise altitude will say 32,000 feet. Stick that here, and we can now say align IRS. Of course, we have selected immediate. So in the EFB, we have selected immediate or instant alignment. So the IRSs are already aligned. Okay. We can now head over to our to the next page where we can enter all the information, and we have all the information here. So this one is 7. Entry out of range. What's going on here? All right, there we go. 7 here. And 0 fuel, that information we can find in, let's see here. Not sure how you go back. Probably here. MC data. Doesn't want to take me there. Huh. I think we should have done that before we calculated everything. I'm not sure now how to go back. And yeah, this is just going to compute everything here. No takeoff data, use flaps 1515. Okay. Let's select that, compute. Computing, all right, so now we've got all our information here. Flex temperature, flaps 1515, 0 fuel. All right, so I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was 101. Yeah, there we go. So we've got all of that information here. The center of gravity, I believe, was 30. And that is set now. And so we have this here. Now we can go to our flight plan. Yeah, the old Airbus used to have a yoke, which is, you know, very, very peculiar, if you ask me. Something we're not accustomed to, really. Strange, huh? Manly, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we are going to go to the flight plan. Of course, we're just going to select some fictitious stuff. So we're going to select the runway, let's see, runway 22, 27 left, for example, and insert. And then we're going to go to the star, and we're going to select the Cane 2. Doesn't really matter. I mean, we're not really going anywhere today. And we can select ILS runway 18 left at Dallas Fort Worth International. And we're going to say insert that. So that at least works in a similar way to the Airbus. Now we can see the flight plan here. And if we cycle through this, there is a discontinuity here, so we can clear that. Clear. It's not allowed. All right, well, it doesn't really matter, so we're not flying, and I am not exactly sure how this works, but it looks like it's a vector to final, which is perfectly fine. Okay, the release should be in, I'm not exactly sure, but the word from iniBuild is that this aircraft will be released before the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So it is before the 17th of August. And by the way, Microsoft Flight Simulator will release on the 17th for the premium deluxe version, and on the 18th for all the other versions. So there we go. Stan, how are you doing, my friend? Okay, so we are good now. Let's take a look at the exterior here. Just make sure that, you know, yep, it looks like all the cargo has been loaded. So we're going to come back here, and we're going to go to the EFB again, and we're going to go to flight operations, ground operations. We're going to go to the exits, and we can now close all the exits. Okay, and now we can see the exits. Let me just remove this. That didn't close anything, did it? Let's see. Close all. Looks like it's closing now. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, good stuff. And we can go to, we can return now, ground services, and we can remove the air stairs, the loader, fuel truck, AC unit, the chocks. We'll leave the external power for now, until we start the APU. Okay, let's go ahead and start the APU. And just hold this down a little bit here until we see the sign that the APU has started. Okay, so the APU is starting now. Now, I've seen some things that I'm not really accustomed to in an Airbus. So we've got the APU gen here, and we've got an APU bleed here, air bleed. So this is an APU bleed, but I think I've seen another one. I'm almost sure I've seen a couple of APU or APU bleeds or something like that. I could be mistaken, but I'm just scanning through here. See what's going on here. Alright, let's turn on the APU. Oh, it is on. Okay. So the APU is available. Now we can turn on the APU blade. We can arm the emergency lights. And we can turn off the external power. And we can completely remove it now from... So that's done. Chocks are removed. and everything is ready now. I wonder if there's something missing here. Let's see. Right, we're going to close the cockpit door and lock it. I think that we can turn on the, we can start the engines now. Right, let's turn the yaw dampers. Engine trim is fine. All's looking good as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Okay. So all is, I'm not sure why this keeps putting me back here. Let me just bring up X camera and save this view. All right, that's much better. All right, so now time for us guys to push back and start the engines and listen to those beautiful engine sounds. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go back here and go to the pushback truck. All right, we're just going to say start.
Round to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Obviously, it uses better pushback, so we're just going to push the airplane right to this position right here. Hello there, Jan, Alex, welcome everyone. Omari, welcome my friend. How are you doing?
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Here we go. And the tow, better pushback now is going to head over here. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful scenery as well of Chicago O'Hare. By the way, you can see the heat flare from the APU here, which is really cool. We have a new subscriber, Jamie Tobin. Welcome to the Q8Pilot channel.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Just look at that. Look at those landing gears. Wow, phenomenal. The wing right here, just really wow. So what do you guys think so far? What do you think of this aircraft? I think it's brilliant. Emma, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. All right, it's being lifted. Gotta love that livery, man.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, we're ready to go, and we are gonna release the parking brake here.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, we're clear to start the engines. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna come over here, and we are gonna select engine start B. And we're going to start engine number 2. Arm is open. And we're going to wait for about 20% of N2. That's, I think, what it said. And then we're going to introduce fuel. We're almost there now. And there we go. Engine number 2 starting. And let's switch to external view. Gotta love that engine. Looks really, really good. Okay, let's see what's going on here. As you can see, the engine is now starting. Some light here so we see what's happening. Alright, looks like we have a good start now on the engine number 2. We're going to start engine number 1.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Alright, parking brake is set. And
Just
I really
connecting
like
Hill.
the sounds.
Stand by.
I like the texturing, 3D modeling. Very, very immersive aircraft. Really. You can toggle the yoke here, which is kind of cool. Okay, let's go ahead and arm the speed brake, and we're going to set flaps 15. So let me go over here. All right, you guys can go. Flaps 15, and sure what the trim was, but probably 1.5. Listen to the stabilizer there, kind of funny. But look at the texturing, look at the throttle and everything here as the
So
sunlight
is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, so engine number 1 is now starting. And you can see that the flaps are set to flaps 15. Just look at that. Beautiful. There is one thing I wanted to show you guys, is if we go back here and open the door, we can actually see the cargo cabin right there. And by the way, those buttons are actually interactive. So if we come here, see these buttons? You can actually open the cargo doors from here, which is really cool. The lights, there you see, we can turn them on and off. Entry area, how cool is that? That is really cool. I like that. And how about we see what's in the back here? Yeah, so more, more cargo area. There isn't any cargo at the moment, but yeah. Okay, so we have both engines running now, and Thomas, welcome to the VVIP membership here at the Q8Pilot channel. Very glad to have you on board. All right, so now we have the aircraft ready to go, and I am ready to listen to the engine sounds. So I'm going to release the parking brake, and actually we can turn off the APU now. So APU bleed is off, and we can turn off the APU. Engine mode selector can go to continuous, and now we can give it some power. Listen to those sounds. You gotta love those sounds. I don't know, I don't have the slightest idea where I'm going. So let's see, actually we need to turn the other way. And we'll find a runway to... Let's take off, why not? I'm sure you guys want to see like a flyby with this aircraft taking off, so let's do that. Yeah, the sounds are really, really good. Yeah, I absolutely love the sounds on this aircraft. We haven't said anything here. same sound that we normally expect from you know, an Airbus. And now it's probably, the warning sign isn't going to go away. So maybe we click here. Yeah. Alright, give just a little more power. And let's enjoy the outside scene here. Isn't that majestic? Absolutely beautiful aircraft. Now I'm probably going to be playing around with this aircraft in the days to come, and hopefully by this coming Saturday we can do a live stream and fly it from you know, from this airport to maybe, you know, somewhere close by. But just look at the detail, look at the fidelity, the final finish, the finesse. By the way, there's something I want to show you guys, which is kind of cool. So look at that. Modeled exactly like the real aircraft, so it's a bit different from, you know, the regular you know, wings that you see now these days. Now, according to INI, even the ground operations of this aircraft has been modeled in accordance with empirical sources, quote unquote, which means they probably have had access to, you know, a real Airbus pilot that flew this aircraft maybe back in the days. And I believe it's still operational. I believe this aircraft is still operational in some areas still. Oh, you are right. I did not activate any of the lights, did I? Beacon lights, runway turn-off lights, nav lights, nose to takeoff, right there, and the strobes. Yeah. So now you've got all the lights there. Thanks for reminding me. Now I do want to show you one thing before we depart. Let's change the time of day so you can appreciate the lighting. Look at that. Look at those lights. Just really phenomenal. And the strobes and everything just looks absolutely gorgeous. The sounds are really, really nice. Alright, so we are ready to go now. And we're just gonna give it a little bit of power. Go inside and watch where I'm going. Almost there. And we are airborne, ladies and gentlemen. Pause rate here is going up. Tell you guys, I'm really impressed with this aircraft. I think it's a really fun aircraft. One of the better airliners I think made for X-Plane 11. So I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and click on pause here, and we're just going to put the aircraft in this we can see here. Yeah. That is a fine view of this aircraft. That's a nice screenshot right there. All right, so I'd like to get you guys, I'd like to get your first impressions of what you've seen so far. This is going to conclude our kind of flight for today. I will be doing a detailed video and tutorial of this aircraft once I myself get my head around it. I would like to read the manual for one, which I normally do. And then I want to give you guys a tutorial, full tutorial doing, perhaps an eyeless approach at some airport of choice. But I really would like to get your feedback. How is performance? Performance is comparable to other aircrafts of the, of the same complexity level. I think if we bring up the FPS counter here, let me just go to the cockpit. So it does suffer a little bit, but this is actually not the aircraft. This is the scenery that I have of Chicago O'Hare. But again, guys, this aircraft is still in beta, so things might change with time, but I'm getting 35 FPS, 36, so that's reasonable, I think. So yeah, no complaints for me in terms of FPS. This is quite an involved scenery of Chicago O'Hare, though. By Nimbus, I believe, this scenery, yeah. So it's got a lot of plugins and things like that. Let's see. Why is the cockpit stretched? Is it? Let's take a look. Well, I don't think it's stretched. I think it's just. Let me do this. Maybe my field of view is not right. So, what do you think now? Do you think it's still stretched? I think it was just my field of view probably wasn't correct. So. This is probably, I'll wait for V1 simulations. He's probably going to give us the right FOV for this aircraft and the correct, but I think this is probably what it should look like. So I need to probably change my view. But do you think it still looks straight? I don't think it looks stretched. I think it looks just fine. Yeah. I really like the overhead panel on this old aircraft. Really, really nice. Right, let's take a few more questions there. FPS totally system dependent. Absolutely, yeah. I can't really say much other than it is very comparable to other aircraft. So very comparable to, it actually uses less resources than the Flight Factor A320, just as a means of comparison. Yeah, it does look very cool. The panel is perfect. Captain Q8, Oscar Kilo, Bravo Kilo. That's Kuwait International. Oh, I haven't forgotten you. Don't worry. It's really well. Yeah, it is definitely very well modeled. I don't have any information on the price, by the way. I don't know how much this aircraft is going to sell for. How many FPS inside the cockpit? Let's take a look. It's about 35, 36. So it's fine. It really is fine, and we can actually do. See, normally what I do, now I have X camera and I'm doing like normally this is my test for FPS. If I can do like the simulated walk around of the cockpit and it goes as smooth as you guys can see now on the screen, that I know that this aircraft is fine in terms of the FPS, that, it's perfectly okay. I think those textures are really good. I think they've done a really good job with the modeling. Looks pretty good. The sounds are good. Everything really in this aircraft looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean maybe some of those gauges could use a little bit of work maybe, but overall I think this is a really an aircraft that I have a lot of appreciation for. And by the way, the system simulation is outstanding. So if you read a little bit on the iniBuilds website, they've actually modeled a lot of the aircraft systems. So very deep system simulation of the aircraft. I have no idea when is it going to be in the org store. I do know that the release is going to be before Microsoft Flight Simulator, so the release is really imminent. And I'm not sure if it's going to be immediately available at the Explain.org or you can purchase it at the iniBuilds website. So let's see. This and the Rotate MD-11 will complete the airliners I want. Yeah, I'm definitely waiting for the MD-11 as well. It's a FedEx plane. Yeah, you have, by the way, a lot of the. You have a lot of the. Yeah. There are a lot of liveries. I can show you guys some of the other liveries. One I really like is the Qatar Airways. By the way, just before we do that, let's go back to the menu here. Resume current flight. Yeah, fine. Okay, so this aircraft comes in two variants. It comes with the General Electric and the Pratt & Whitney engines, and they actually sound different. And they look different. So this is what the Pratt & Whitney engine looks like, as opposed to the swirl on the General Electric engine. So yeah, you've got the two variants. Both will be available. So I put in some. There's a Turkish UPS. Qatar is the one I really like. Okay, this one is not compatible here. Not compatible there. Yeah, it's the PW. It's a Pratt & Whitney engine. All right, let's take a look at the Turkish cargo here. Simulation is paused. Let's see. Hopefully it won't crash the sim, whatever that is I'm doing. There you go. And that's the Turkish cargo. Again, the liveries they've spent some, considerable amount of time creating those liveries as well for the entire fleet. And there's, as I've shown you in the very beginning of the stream, there's a ton of these liveries that you can fly. Just look at the details. It's absolutely beautiful. The modeling and the sounds and just really everything looks very, very, very good. Right, I'll take a few more questions. Kuwait Airways. I haven't seen a livery of Kuwait Airways, unfortunately. I've looked, but it's not there. I was hoping I would find one because I was planning a cargo flight from Hamad International to Kuwait International as a first look, but then I couldn't find the livery, and I decided to very quickly come and do this overview for you guys. It has wing flex. You know what? I don't know. I haven't tried. I assume that it does, but I cannot vouch for it. I haven't seen if... Actually, we can try one thing. Since we are here, let me just do a deep dive. And probably not doing what it's supposed to do. But, all right, let me try one more thing. If we come here, and we go to customize, and we can maybe add some, let me just go to manual configured and select Stormy. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on. All right, that's fine. Let's leave it there. Fly. I can't see the wing flex, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure if it has it or not. All right, hang on. I'm not sure if it has storminess. Yeah, I'm not really sure, guys, if it's got wing flex, but I will test this out I will make sure that I show it to you in my full video, in a full flight video. Let's change this back here to match real weather. Done. Flying. Yeah, from what I see here, I'm not sure if it's got influx or not. I really am not sure. And we have a new member, is it Louis or Louis? I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I misspelled your name, but welcome to the VVIP membership here at the Q8Pilot channel. I've seen that in the MD version. Could be, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me see here. How much does the airplane cost? I have no clue how much the cost is, Abdullah. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So, yeah, so it looks like there is no wing flex in this aircraft, but nonetheless, it's fine with me. It doesn't really matter too much. The one thing I will miss is really having a window where we can look at the wings, but I'm sure I can set up something for the. So let's see here. Let's go to. We can do it together here. If you guys bear with me, we can come to the cockpit and we can create a camera, and then we can just go. Let's see here. We can go this way. And there is actually a window here. So let's see, we can see the engine. So probably we need to go further down for the wings. And yeah, all right. So we can do this and we can go outside a little bit. And now we have this view of the probably somewhere right about here. Yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think of that? Pretty cool, huh? There we go. Yeah. And now we have this nice wing view of the aircraft. I think it looks pretty good. And we can take a look at, if we go here, just look at those wings. That looks pretty good. There we go. Look at the fuselage, look at the PBR. Now that looks very, very good indeed. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, well, guys, this is pretty much what I wanted to share with you in this live stream. If you have any questions, please do post them in the comment section below. I will be sure to answer you as soon as I can. And stay tuned for the full flight video of this aircraft coming very soon, right here on the Q8Pilot channel. I want to thank you very much for tuning in today. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all very soon. Good night or good morning, depending on wherever you are in the world. See you guys. Bye-bye for now.